Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HHW Show podcast. It is the hard hitting wrestling show. I'm with Hector. Hector, what's going on, my friend?
Nothing but the heat wave over here, baby. And
The heat
money in the
wave.
bank.
Yay, yay. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, hey, hello, everyone, and hello to Newman Company 1991. Yes, he's in tune. Man, he's on fire, man. We just got live right now, but
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So good evening, and hey, it's one hell of a show. Once again, we're brought to you by the CMG Sports Podcast Network. Visit hhwshow.com. And nothing but a special shout out to Noob and Company 1991, but also to SCW Steve. That's right. He was on our show yesterday. We had a awesome one-on-one conversation about Money in the Bank, who got my brains thinking, and we're definitely going to share that with our prediction show that's coming up later on. But first, John Cena was celebrated for 20 years in the WWE. Uh, man, I could tell you right now, Hector, I remember that moment when he went face to face with Kurt Angle. And, when you have those new stars that's come up, you never know which direction they're going to go, right? And,
Exactly.
you'd be like, oh, that was that jobber that acted tough. And then boom, that was it. But not this guy. This guy was so unique. John Cena. Um, my biggest memory, besides all that, was the fact that I had a relative that actually worked for WWE,
Hmm.
and I sent two care packages to my son, and she didn't know that we have a big family. And long story short, she found out we were wrestling fans, gave us tickets to see the show. It was just a regular live event, and what I didn't notice, there was a poster of John Cena in the package. And I'm like, all right, he got a picture of John Cena. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, but then it was actually signed by him. And it said to my son's name, I wish you the best of luck. And his signature, John Cena. I'm like, wait a minute, this guy actually personalized this? No way. And then I had to like show my son, like, look, yo, this is your name. He actually wrote to you. And it touched my heart. And to see my son, and at the time I think he was 6 or 7 years old, and he was just smiling and everything. And right there and then I said, look, if this guy took the time to do that for my child, then he will be my number one fan, because he just made my family happy, you know.
Right.
And of course, we know the history of John Cena, where he's done so much for everybody. He changes lives, and especially the last one we talked about last week about what he had done for that Down syndrome child that left Ukraine, and that's by far phenomenal, man. And mad respect to John Cena. But more on him, real quick. Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, The Big Show, all of them, and of course Randy Orton, but all of them sending out messages to John Cena, right? And you know that they all wrestled each other. Okay, as a matter of fact, John Cena won his first United States Championship by defeating the Big Show. But
Hmm.
in John Cena's absence, when he got hurt, Chris Jericho took that load. Okay, because he was the one that had that rivalry with Randy Orton throughout that time he was gone.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there was so much, man. And I like how different wrestling promos allowed this, and WWE allowed this to happen, to give a special thanks to John Cena for all he's done, because Triple H said it best, man. He is the GOAT. Now, the one guy that decided not to claim he's the GOAT and want to rub it in his face is no other than Seth freaking Rollins. Now, this one was so comical, because how do you start a conversation with saying, you know what I did to you?
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on, man.
Just had to rub it in his
Really?
face. Yeah.
Really? That's how you start a conversation? Oh, and my favorite was him laughing while he's doing that tune with John
Yeah.
Cena's tune, right? But I love the shirt. So I asked you earlier about, do you know what that shirt means? And you were like, nah, like it's just the
Mm-mm.
colorful shirt, right? Well, this is the colorful shirt that John Cena always wore in the ring, whether it was orange, pink, yellow, whatever it is. And looks like the combination of a Fruity Pebble cereal, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay, I can get that. I see that, but you're
You just
missing
got
some
to add
colors.
milk so you can get all those colors.
I mean, John Cena was known to have some very bright, full, colorful shirts. You know, what I
Oh,
mean, if you're a big John Cena's fan, then you got to have every single color that he ever wore in that ring. And I was never a John Cena fan, but since I love the color red, I think the red shirt of his looked it better than all the other colors. But man, The Rock put it on point. He looked like Fruity Pebbles, man. It's hilarious.
but you realize the real reason for that. I mean, if I'm marketing and I have young kids from like maybe from baby till 13 years of age, what colors do they grasp more? Bright colors,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, The Rock made fun of him, called him Fruity Pebbles and everything else, which got Cena even more. Um, I want to say, it doesn't matter what it is. But the thing is that Fruity Pebbles put John Cena in front of the cereal box, and then boom, there you go. It was trending. And me, I was buying Fruity Pebbles to eat for breakfast. Yes, indeed.
And
Um,
it worked for some. It worked for John Cena. Okay, it
mhm,
wouldn't work for everybody else. Okay, because when you think of Hulk Hogan, you think of the traditional yellow and red, right? And if it was
right.
any other color, it wouldn't look right. Putting Hulkamania on a different color shirt, it wouldn't look right. But John Cena knew how to sell it right with all the different colors. It worked for that era. So I applaud him for that. I mean, like I said, I was never a John Cena fan, but I applaud him for the things that he's done in and out the ring.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right. He probably is one of the greatest of all time, in that ring. Not the greatest, but he's one of the greatest. Yes.
Oh man, I'm sorry to say, man, but you talking about he's one of the greatest. Okay, I give you that. I respect that. I really do. All right, because all depends on what it all depends on the resume other people read, right? So
Yeah.
here's John Cena's resume. He is a 16-time world champion, 13 times as WWE champion, 3 of it was the world heavyweight champion. He was also a WWE tag team champion, okay, with David Otunga and The Miz. He was a world tag team champion with Batista and Shawn Michaels. So we could actually say that if it was current, he would have been a Raw or SmackDown champion. That's pretty much what it means. Money in the Bank winner 2012, but he failed to cash in the Money in the Bank. He did it as he claimed the right way to do it. Um, he was also the Royal Rumble winner 2 times. Slammy Awards, he won 3 Superstar of the Year and the 2010 Slammy Awards, like the holy, I think it's holy shit move of the year,
Yeah.
which sends Batista through the stage with an attitude adjustment. That's pretty cool. The Slammy Award, the game changer of the year, 2011, insult of the year, kiss of the year. That was with AJ Lee, and the Hero in All of Us award in 2015. Now he's always recognized for all his contributions with Make a Wish Foundation, but overall he has 1,075 wins, 58 draws, and 259 losses. Now that is spectacular. I mean, he's winning at least over nearly 70% of his matches. And if you could tell, like he loses his title and then he redeems himself and wins. And I mean, that's how we calculated how he got his 60-time world championships. I just wish he had 17, to be honest with you, because really, I'm not fond. I'm tired of arguing with people about between him and Ric Flair. Ric Flair never did it in WWE. He won it a couple of times, but it was only John Cena with the same brand being the 16 world champion. Now, the only flaw for John Cena, you cannot call him a Grand Slam champion. And I wish he
Exactly.
was.
I mean,
He's just
it's not, to me personally, it's not mathematically out of the picture that he can do it. I
mhm.
mean, I know there could be a way that they could do that and still have Gunther still run SmackDown with the Intercontinental title. I know there's a way they could do it if they wanted to, but you know, to me, John Cena's resume is superb without it, even though it would look even better because you
Hmm.
think about people like Seth Rollins who can say that they are a Grand Slam champion, but you don't have the resume of the John Cena's. You see what I'm saying? There's
Right.
many. There's not that many superstars that has a resume close to a John Cena to call themselves the GOAT. You know, I mean, he has a better resume than the Undertaker, but the Undertaker's been doing it for 30 years in the WWE, 10 years
And
longer than John Cena.
that's like saying like how many world championships like the New York Yankees, and then you have Cal Ripken Jr. of
Yeah,
all those consecutive days that
yeah,
he played
the Iron
baseball
Man.
without resting. Exactly.
I mean,
So
because
you got a point there.
you have to have when Hogan passed that torch, somebody had to be the face of the WWE. Okay.
Hmm.
And you look at the different eras that we've had. Yes, The Undertaker knew how to revolutionize his character through the different eras to make him one of the greatest of all times, but his resume doesn't stack up to John Cena. And I'm saying that as an Undertaker fan. His resume
Hmm.
doesn't stack up to John Cena's. But they've had matches to where Undertaker owns John Cena. And, you know, he's probably faced more opponents in a sense than John Cena because John Cena has more wins. But you think about a lot of those wins were a lot of rematches and feuds that he had with a lot of people, to where the Undertaker's win record probably spread out against all the different opponents that he's ever faced. So
Right.
in that sense, it's to me, it's debatable between those two is of who is the greatest of all time and who is
Hmm.
the actual face of the WWE in the last 20 years. You see what I'm saying? Because you talk about Hogan and Warrior, WWE champion, Intercontinental champion. One was the face, and the other one was just running amok through everybody. And that's what I think John Cena and The Undertaker was. You see,
Right.
and they've had their matches, but they never had a feud. You see, that's the thing. So we would never know who would have owned that feud. But yes, John Cena, great night last night. My hat's off to him. Like I said, I was never a John Cena fan, but I always respected him because in the latter part of his career, he started putting over a lot of superstars.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
and that
Absolutely he had.
and that doesn't diminish of what he did in the ring. That made him to me even more of a goat when you can do that to people like Bobby Lashley or Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins or even Shinsuke Nakamura. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or even Daniel Bryan. You let these guys get over. That just shows me what kind of character he had. And yeah, he was the man. He was the man.
I had something saved, and I wanted to add on to what you were saying, and I think I have it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find because I saw it on Instagram, and if I don't want to out say it, I don't even know where to find where I save all my stuff. Oh, here it is. I got it. All right, here we go. You ready? Man, you just here it is. For 20 years, you have created an environment for me to be my true self. You've always been brave enough to tell me when I suck, and you've always been kind enough to tell me when I don't. I love that quote from John Cena, and he said it live on Raw last night for his 20th anniversary celebration. And you know that he went ups and downs with the fans. I
Yeah,
think it was more of the battle between him and the fans than anyone else in the back in the locker room, because you either hate him or love him, but that's all you're gonna get. And he fed on that because he always said everyone had a right to speak.
exactly. And
Hmm.
he never let the fans justify his character. When you booed him, when you called him, when you chanted he sucked, he never changed character. When you got these people that they get booed or they get mad, they want to turn heel.
Hmm.
John Cena never did that. When he turned face after becoming heel, he stood that way, even if the fans didn't like it. He did not feed into that. He allowed it to
Hmm.
happen and just let the crowd do what they wanted to do. Do you remember that ECW night when he fought Rob Van Dam?
Oh, absolutely. I
You see what I'm
remember.
saying?
I
I
mean, these
mean,
guys were about to protest
yeah,
if John Cena would have won,
yes.
and
But
I
he
don't think
never
WWE was ready for that.
but he stood in character the whole time,
Hmm.
and that's what I
Yeah.
liked about him. And I don't know of any other superstar that started their career as heel and finished as a face in a consecutive amount of time that he did it.
Right.
Because once he turned face, he never went back. He never went back. A
Never
lot of
went back. He
superstars
did.
juggle.
He did bring back the Thugonomics a few
Yes,
times, but was
yes,
still in the babyface character.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So, uh, look, you talking about all that. I mean, look at this picture right here. Which to you was the best feud for John Cena out of these four pictures? You have Triple H, you have Edge, you have Randy Orton, and you have CM Punk. Which one do you think was your best rivalry out of the four?
My best one was against Randy Orton. I think these two just had the chemistry. They knew each other so well. They knew how to counter each other moves. And, I think it was just they brought the best out in each other when they stepped in that ring. And seeing how they came up together, who better to build up your character and your status in that ring than going up against someone almost as equal as you are. Because Randy Orton right now is the only one to me that's close enough to be his equal in that ring. And even with his career, his resume, everything, he's the closest one.
Absolutely. And Randy Orton even said it in the speech. Like, not only, I mean, they started together at OVM, and then they moved up to the main roster. I mean, they worked their asses off to get where they had to be, and you had that. I mean, there were countless matches between them two. You know, I liked all four of them,
Yeah.
but I would have said Randy Orton was number one. I would have said Triple H was number two, real close with CM Punk, because when they were talking about the championship belts and everything, yes, there was a rivalry, but I think CM Punk was more targeting Vince McMahon than John Cena. So, but absolutely, man, Randy Orton and John Cena, man, these guys, man, they they did it, man. They did it for me.
Yeah, they
So
did.
more on that, more of the rivalries that John Cena has done with The Rock, right? WrestleMania, Triple H, we mentioned Shawn Michaels. And you remember that Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and John Cena had a triple threat match for the world title.
Yeah.
Batista was another one. Oh, we know about Seth Rollins. I mean, he really rubbed it in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar. I don't know if that was a huge rivalry or not. I mean, he just got demolished at the second half of Lesnar's return. Kurt Angle, Umaga, John Bradshaw Layfield, right? JBL. That was one of my favorites too. Everyone was glad to take that belt away from him, and who else to do it but John Cena, right?
Yeah.
The Miz. And stand corrected, The Miz had help on WrestleMania. It wasn't The Miz doing it by himself, because remember, The Rock had to restart the match after he did his signature move. Then, of course, the Nexus, Eddie Guerrero, Carlito for the United States Championship. That title went back and forth, because remind you, John Cena won against the Big Show.
Yeah.
Had a rivalry with Booker T, which I'm surprised Booker T's name is not on this list, but he had a rivalry with Booker T before Carlito.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
The one that, I mean, it just intrigues me back with Eddie Guerrero, because I don't think many people would remember they had that street fight, and Eddie
Right.
Guerrero, and that was John Cena's, like, he was still heel, Eddie was the favorite, and Eddie was just beating him at his own game pretty much at that time, but if you would have got this John Cena versus a seasoned Eddie Guerrero, I think that would have been an awesome match. He might have stole something of John Cena's.
Well, you know who's stealing what right now, man? It's no other than Max Dupree, stealing some of the flavor from Ric Flair, man. I don't know if you paid attention. I know a lot of people were comparing Cena with Theory. And we've been mentioning that for the last couple of years when he first debuted WWE. But this one here, and I know Dupree or LA Knight from NXT, he's experienced. He got years of experience. But this guy is talking a big game, just like Ric Flair. I see a good comparison between the two. I'm not saying that as a champion, but I'm saying that's the way he conducts himself on the mic. This guy's the
No,
next Ric Flair.
I agree. I mean, he got some mic skills, but he also steals your space. I mean, he's gonna bring COVID back the way he gets into Adam Pearce's face. I'm serious. I mean, I'm sorry, I couldn't have a man all in my face like that, like without giving me a kiss. I mean, Dupree,
Oh,
just back it up a little bit. But yeah, you're right.
I want
His
to know
mic
how much
skills.
sparks come on in someone's face. Like after
I
they
mean,
cut the scene, how many times
for
does
real.
Adam Pearce got to wipe his mouth or his
Like,
face?
did we not just deal with COVID? Come on, Dupree. Let's come on. But yeah, Dupree, man, he's real good on that mic, man, and I think he's pretty good. I mean, I'd like to see him and MVP go at it, mic for mic. You know what I'm saying? Or him in the Miz. That
Ooh.
would be awesome.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
we need to see who the rest of the players that he has because every
right?
week he's not even satisfied. So
Mm-hmm.
does he have somebody or not? I don't know. I don't know.
Good.
Uh, another match that's scheduled for Monday Night Raw is Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. Now you notice Judgment Day used to be Edge, the leader, until he got overthrown. And Rhea Ripley supposedly has some medical conditions, so she's not able to wrestle. And then you have these two guys, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I don't know, man. I got a gut feeling that Judgment Day was setting the bar high from the start and it's working its way down. Are they trying to recruit Dominic Mysterio? I
They
don't know
better.
what's going on. Is this the split for the Mysterios? Is this father versus son is going to come up soon? I mean, what's going on here?
They need to do something with Judgment Day because if not, it's going to deploy so fast. It's going to blow up in their face. Just like we thought that there was going to be something with Retribution, and that just blew up in their face. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, Judgment Day. I mean, if they don't do something quick to change up the storylines, to me, the Bloodline is still going to continue running the WWE
You
until
know
you
what
get
makes Judgment Day better? You ready for this? He needs to paint himself. Finn Balor needs to paint himself. That's how you get it. Because they're gonna get pissed off. Damian Priest, he'll get the flamethrowers, and then you got what's his name, Finn Balor with all the smoke and the color and everything else. I think we need that. But I know they're trying to stay away from it, but I'm not just digging the Judgment Day anymore.
yeah, it's boring. It was
Mm.
boring.
But you know what's not boring is SummerSlam, baby, because it's only a month away. And yes, the main event of SummerSlam is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the unified titles. Now, not much has been talked about since their last meeting, but I promise you this that right after Money in the Bank, we're definitely going to see what's going on between these guys, and the storyline is going to escalate and it's going to get better. But I'm just not only for this match, but I'm just curious how everything else is going to play out. The one thing that I talked about Steve on Monday, and he gave a great point, is that if you want to make Roman Reigns vulnerable, you got to have somebody to defeat the Usos.
Right.
Have the Usos lose their titles, and then we'll see the sign that Roman Reigns is about to fall. The
Exactly.
bloodline will fall.
That's the only way. One by one, this title's got to go. But it has to start with the Usos before, like you said, Roman Reigns. I agree. But if that doesn't happen anytime soon, then the Roman Empire is going to continue reigning. At
All
least
right.
till 2023.
2023. I mean, you reach 23. Look, you still got a long ways to go to hit over 1,000. If that's is that what they're aiming for? So I doubt that's gonna happen. There are signs that that's not gonna happen, but we could discuss that on a later time there. But normally we have speaking it real type deal with Frank and everything else, but we're about to go ahead and fix ourselves with the prediction show. And I'm going to come up with a intro segment to the prediction show. But as for now, tune into this one. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going to start off with our first match. It is the prediction show. And yes, it is Money in the Bank prediction show. And oh man, I just can't wait for this to happen this Saturday. But these are the titles that will be subject to be cashed in for whoever is the winner. And I got to tell you, we're going to start with the first one right here, Money in the Bank. The Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Yeah, baby. Now, of course, we would have expect Rhea Ripley to be in it, but I think that there's a tactical pause when it comes to Rhea Ripley. It is what it is, but we got Carmella. I'll start it off with this pick, and I'm saying Bianca Belair is going to win.
Yeah, there's- I can't disagree there. She's the EST. She's gonna hold this title. I mean, I get it, Mella's money, but not in this money. She's gonna have to make a withdrawal somewhere else.
And withdrawal indeed. Uh, we'll fast forward here, man. Theory versus Bobby Lashley. Now, this one's got me scratching my head when I spoke to Steve on Monday, and he had some points, and he understand my view that I initially said Bobby Lashley because if you want Theory to go against John Cena for SummerSlam, I wouldn't want him to be the United States champion, right? Would you see him defending his U.S. title against John Cena should that match happen at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening.
You can, okay,
Yeah, I can.
but then I had a change of heart for what he had told me that maybe we'd love to see Cena win a title, or right. I also saw on Raw that Theory was just rubbing in his face like, look, I am 24 years old, the youngest United States champion. I was younger than you, and
How
bragging
about
about it. And yeah, he got him by 1 year because Cena won it when he was age 25. But but then I'm looking at this and I said, you know what? Theory, he beat Finn Balor, beat Mustafa Ali. He defeated Montez Ford. He's lost to Lashley, and especially that gauntlet match, Lashley was still able to win. Then, of course, Theory had issues with Cody Rhodes. He wasn't able to hang with him, but thanks to Seth Rollins for interfering, well, that match went out the window. But then you also have Bobby Lashley, who's won the gauntlet match, has beaten Otis, has beaten Jack Cable, and he's coming off of a match that he defeated Omos. Now, yeah, I got it that he had a little bit of help from Cedric Alexander, but the point is, this guy's beast mode. This guy's like every category Bobby Lashley got Theory. I'm gonna wing it, and I'm gonna say I'm going for Bobby Lashley to win this match.
so you say you're gonna win the match, but he's gonna win the title too?
I say Bobby Lashley will be the new United States champion.
Mm. I disagree. I think Theory, they put a belt around him for a reason. I think this would be something that he needs if he's ever going to face John Cena in the future. He needs a signature win like this at any cost. I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to do it cleanly because that's not his style, but I think he's going to beat Bobby Lashley. I think Lashley's going to get over his head on this, because he knows he can outmuscle him and everything like that. But Theory is going to figure out how to win this match in his own way. So I'm going with Theory on this one.
John Cena was 4 months initially United States champion before he ended up losing the title to Booker T. And then he got it back from Booker T. Then he lost it to Carlito. And then that rivalry between them, right? I could see that Lashley could win it and then Austin win it back in SummerSlam. That could possibly happen, you know? And then we won't be talking about John Cena trying to make it to SummerSlam because the fact is, I mean, if there was something, I mean, look, John Cena walked away with Theory when Theory was trying to take a selfie. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
is that a sign like, no, I'm not doing it? Like, okay, I acknowledge that you want this to happen, but it ain't gonna happen. I'm just
No,
saying.
I just think it's a sign that I'm not going to stoop down to your level. You want to do this, we're going to do this the right way. I'm not going to sit here and just because he let Theory do all the talking. John Cena is above that,
Exactly.
so
Mm.
yeah, he didn't need all that.
Oh, the SmackDown Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Natalia. This one, I'm gonna tell you right now, Ronda Rousey's gonna win and lose.
Okay.
If they do the ladder women's ladder match first or second, whatever it is, before this match starts, I'm gonna tell you right now that Ronda Rousey will lose, and someone's gonna cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase because you cannot trust Natalia.
No, you can't. She's very dirty.
Very dirty, dirty, dirty.
Yeah.
That's why I'm picking Ronda Rousey to win, and whoever wins the briefcase, there it is.
Uh, I do say that Ronda's going to win this match, but I'm not just going to say that whoever wins that briefcase is going to cash in on Ronda because I don't.
Natalia's gonna be so pissed off. She'll probably attack her or something like that, or whatever it is. I don't see Shayna Baszler trying to help out because Baszler and Ronda Rousey are friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and we really haven't seen them two go at each other.
No, no.
And I just that's just my thought that Natalia might do something to like harm her in some way, and then the title is gone, and then maybe we'll have another, I don't know, a SummerSlam with Ronda Rousey versus something bigger. You know what I mean? Without the title. That's just my. I'm just speculating.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think the Money in the Bank winner is going to, it's, I don't think it's going to focus on Ronda Rousey at the moment. Even if it is a SmackDown superstar that wins, I don't think they're going to focus on Ronda right then and there.
Hmm.
I don't think so. But I just think Ronda's going to win, and she's going to still walk out of there with the belt, no
The
matter what
way,
Natalia.
the only way that I'm gonna say that's not gonna happen if Ronda Rousey starts the pay per view event. Then I'll be like, all right, she's gonna keep it. I mean,
Right,
pretty
right.
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then Bianca Belair is the one to be watched out for.
I think she's more of a threat. Yeah.
All right. Then we have the Unification Tag Team Championship with the Usos versus the Street Profits. I'm picking the Usos on this one.
Yeah, I got the Usos. I don't see, I think it's still too early to drop those titles right now.
The Street
To me,
Profits has never pinned the Usos. They have 3 victories over them, and it was either disqualification, count out, and I mean they won the singles matches. You got to give them props
yeah,
to that. But
yeah.
as far as tag teams concerned, the Usos pretty much got their numbers.
Yeah, so I think that's why they're going to rebound and come out with the victory on this one by any means necessary.
However, however, I gotta put that in there. You ready for this?
Mm,
You see how what happened between the Usos and RK Bros? They were getting their asses handed to them, individually, and they're getting their asses handed individually by the Street Profits. Okay, was not to say Sami
hmm.
Zayn do some stupid shit and
Yeah,
cost the Street Profits winning those titles, which then leads on to maybe stipulation going on for SummerSlam.
yeah. Sami Zayn, he's all over the place right now. I don't know why the Bloodline even keeps him around. I know he's a guinea pig, but still, he's a
Come
distraction.
on. We talked about this before. You know, you always got that one guy that thinks he's part of the group, so you make him happy as much as you can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do this. Yeah. Uh huh. And then boom, see ya. Then they come back for more.
For real, they don't know when to just stay
Oh,
away.
all right. So now here's a perfect part here. It is the women's ladders match. The winner takes all and could cash in at any time for 1 full year for an opportunity to become a world champion. Who could it be? Now, I'm leaning over to the SmackDown side of the house. Okay. Um, Initially, I have Shotzi winning the ladder match. She is the ballsy and she'll go to its limits to make it happen. Okay. Now, I got a laundry list of things if you want to hear it. But I mean, let me ask you, who you think is going to win before I put the low down here.
Okay, I'm not going to give you a laundry list because yeah, I'm just going to keep it simple. I think it's kind of obvious who people think is going to win, but I'm going with Lacey Evans to win this match. I think
Woohoo, Lacey
I
Evans.
I think she just makes the better sense on the SmackDown side to try to start a rival with Ronda Rousey. Um, get Natalia out of their picture. I think it just makes sense with her comeback right now to have that briefcase to give her an actual shot at Ronda Rousey. Because with Bianca Belair, any of these women on Raw, they can go after her at any given week. So, and I think it just
Mm.
gives something for Raquel Rodriguez to go after, later on because she knows she came that close to trying to win that title. So, I think
I
it just be more.
just
I think it just be more spicier on SmackDown with the briefcase over there.
okay. All right. Let me put in some comments there. Nubian Company 19 was saying I'm seeing the Viking Raiders and the Usos at SummerSlam.
Mm,
That could be a possibility, but being that nothing's really happening in the Money in the Bank for them, I see that they will challenge the New Day
yeah,
in SummerSlam.
yeah, because they turned the
They
page.
turn heel, so they need to beat the New Day, which is going to happen
Yeah.
unless they find another way to ruin that gimmick, and then they'll start going over to, I don't know, to the forest or whatever and start
Well,
competing
no, I
or
think
go
that
do it a game system.
I think this would be a good time for them to actually have a match with the Street Profits and finally, once and for all, put that to rest because they was a
Oh
joke.
man. Yes, absolutely. Uh, but he's also saying Oscar or Becky to win because they have a storyline.
You only
Oscar
can
or
pick one.
Becky,
You only can pick one.
yeah, you got to pick one.
Just
All
one.
right, but once you make that decision, don't worry, I'll post it right now. Okay, but I'm gonna say this: Becky Lynch will not win it. I
Right.
believe Becky Lynch will hit rock bottom again, and some way, somehow, maybe she'll get a match with a legend at SummerSlam. There's always a legend, and Becky Lynch is the face of WWE for the women's side of the house. Why not a
I mean,
legend come? I mean, you
okay.
got Lita, but
Right, right.
who's the other one? Stratus.
Trish
She's been
Stratus.
popping. Trish Stratus has been popping up in these premium live events, and she was there during WrestleMania. Um, was not to say that would happen or something big that to pop is gonna happen for Becky Lynch for SummerSlam.
I mean, you look at these seven women. Lacey really doesn't have any rival or beef with. There's no pairing with her in this situation. Okay, you got Becky and Asuka, right? Alexa, okay, look,
Mm-hmm.
and what's her name right next to her? Okay, you got Raquel and Shotzi. You got everybody already kind of coupled up together who's been at it with one another the last couple of weeks. Lacey's kind of just the one out there lingering around with no feud with anybody just yet.
Yeah, but you rather feel sorry for her so that way she reached
No,
to the top of the
no,
briefcase? I
it's
mean,
just
come
that
on.
there's no distraction on her side to go after
Mm.
that briefcase where everybody else has a distraction in that ring.
Okay, look, Becky Lynch is she only had since WrestleMania 4 wins, 22 losses. That's why I'm scratching her out. Okay, Alexa Bliss since she's been active, she has 7 wins and 5 losses, and she just lost to Liv Morgan. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing, because that's all it is a revenge that once Liv it comes close to touching that briefcase, there goes Alexa Bliss and throw her out of the ladder. I could see that
Cancels
happening.
out. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Liv Morgan, 9 wins, 17 losses. Every time she has an opportunity, she blows it. She's blowing it again. Okay. Raquel, since her debut, she's 14-2. All right. 14 wins, 2 losses. All right. And you know those losses were from yours truly, Ronda Rousey. All right. Lacey Evans is 5-0. She's built more time talking about herself than she has trying to get a match. Okay. And she went from SmackDown to Raw, and now she got bumped back to SmackDown. There you go. They don't know what they're going to do with her. And I'm not picking her, but you will. I got you. All right.
Women's rights.
Oscar, 5-2. Uh, she's only 5-2 without Bianca Belair. She has 10 matches that she lost consecutively to Bianca Belair, whether it was a straight up singles match or a triple threat match. So yeah, so her record's really terrible, but only because Bianca Belair made that terrible because she is the best, the EST of WWE, right? So there you have it. And the fact that she won it last year. So and last year was more of a movie storyline type deal, trying to get up to the ladder. No, the elevator and then whatever obstacles they had to go through just to get up there. So, and she pushed off Baron Corbin at the time. So that was pretty cool. And then you have Shotzi. So Shotzi stumbled with Aaliyah, and yeah, she's been doing jobber stuff, right? That's what's gonna get you. All right. Otis, he won it last year. You know what I mean? Like shit happens. Shit's gonna happen. Shotzi wins ladder match, guaranteed. And look at her resume. She's already lost to Sasha Banks, Zia Lee, Natalia, Charlotte Flair, and Raquel Rodriguez. She is set for Destiny to capture that and at the right time cash in. That's all I'm saying. I'm going for Shotzi.
Yeah, at least we can agree that SmackDown's going to win it.
A match with Asuka against at SummerSlam because after Money in the Bank, where will Asuka go? I mean, it's okay. I think we were talking about Asuka or Becky, but if you're referring to if Asuka wins or then you have Becky Lynch to try to chase her and fight for the briefcase, which has happened before. It hasn't happened for the women's, but we've seen that done. The first one, if I'm not mistaken, was Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy won the second ladder match, right, which was at WrestleMania. And the fact that he had that rivalry with Edge and Edge beat him and took that briefcase. And it's happened with The Miz, with Otis, and I think another time. But could that happen? It could be a possibility. That's a great prediction. But I'm going to put that down. I'm going to say Newman Company actually picked either or, even though he still didn't give me one pick, one solid superstar. Still waiting. And everyone else, once you hear, please put your comments in there and let us know who you think is going to win the ladders match. So Hector says it'll be Lacey Evans. I say it will be Shotzi. But the favorite everyone's talking about is Becky Lynch. So let's go. And you ready for this? The men's. Yes. Oh, man, I have another like 5 sheets of paper about this. But the only one I can't figure out is that one missing person to make number 7. That is the hardest because if we're getting that flavor taste of it, who could be that person? Could that person actually win it? Who knows? We'll probably find out on SmackDown, but it wouldn't surprise me if we find out in the last minute. I mean, on a kickoff show or something like that. But you got to qualify to get into the Money Bank. You just can't put yourself in there. Everybody qualified. All right. So you got Drew McIntyre. He is on a hot streak. He's won 9 straight. Riddle, despite losing to Roman Reigns, he's been on a hot streak too. All right. He's won 8 of the last 10 matches. Sami Zayn, that's a big question mark, man. Really? That's like funny shit that's gonna happen in the ladder match. I'm promising you, he might be the guy that getting tossed, breaking ladders on his back. Then you got Seth freaking Rollins, who really doesn't have any beef with somebody. And then, I mean, look, he's on a losing streak. Okay. The only time he actually won this year is with Kevin Owens as a tag team partner. No one's talked about that. No one's talked about Seth freaking Rollins losing all his matches in year 2022, right? But he's ended up winning it with Kevin Owens as a tag team, only to fall short in the triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Okay. And then you got Sheamus, who is his record is not impressive either. He's trying to be the champion, but he can't even win a singles match this year. Let him know that he is with his crew. I don't even know what to call that crew, but it resembles from the other crew in NXT. I mean, Italiano, they're a bunch of mobsters. I don't know what's going on over there. All right.
Three Stooges.
Um, yeah. So if anything, I'm gonna stick with my pick. All right, almost. He's gonna break it. He's gonna break the ladder. We're gonna get that Big Show ladder, and whoever is the superstar, that's the difference maker right now. And
It
I'm gonna
is.
stay. I'm gonna stay safe. Riddle wins.
Well, I'm going with Seth Rollins in this one. I think he needs it. Like you said,
Love it.
he's lost a lot of matches. I think this really will solidify him, in a guaranteed match for that title. He has unfinished business, I think, with Roman Reigns. But I think, seriously, whoever that seventh person is, you would think that they will be the favorite since we don't know who they are. I mean, you're not just going to throw some jobber in there to say, oh, my God, we waited all this time for this. They're making us wait for a specific reason, and I think it's going to be worth the wait. But to me, it could still be too much of a hype to make us think that we're waiting to the last minute and this person's going to win it. I think I was telling you off the show, there's nothing out of the realm that could still be John Cena. That right there, we know
I can't see John Cena though, man.
I know, but I'm just saying you just can't rule it out because the way he's talking, you're going to see him back in the ring eventually.
Of course. I mean, he said he's not gonna. He'll let everybody know when he's done.
Yeah, definitely.
He's gonna take off his shirt. He's gonna fold it up. He's gonna take his wristbands, his hat, and not his jorts. He's gonna keep his jorts on.
Gotta keep the jorts.
And put it in the middle of the ring, just like the Undertaker. He's gonna go out just like that. I got it.
But whoever it is, it'll be a big surprise. But I think this is a big one for Seth Rollins to win. So I got him.
Okay. Reason why I picked Riddle, I believe that he's gonna start a rivalry with Seth Rollins. That's why. And I think that's gonna carry over to SummerSlam. And it's gonna be unpredictable. Let's put it that way. And they got the right superstars right there. Any one of these guys, minus Sami Zayn, I'll cancel out. Almost Sheamus and Sami Zayn out of the picture. That's what I'm gonna tell you right now. They might touch the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think Almost won't even come close to touching that briefcase.
He don't even have to climb the ladder that high to touch it.
He's got to jump though. Can he jump? Can he pull the whole thing down, or would I don't know? That is a beast, man.
I think he'll get up there and choke slam everybody, and knock them all down.
You don't get a ladder match. You don't get this briefcase. You don't get this briefcase.
But I think honestly, it's going to take every single one of their finishing moves to keep Omos out of this one.
And that's why. Have you noticed that there's a difference between this Money in the Bank than the last two? Is that every single one of these guys are like heavyweights?
Yeah.
Or the faces? Yes, absolutely. Damn. I feel sorry for Almost already.
Well, and then I think in the beginning he's gonna wreak havoc, but they're all gonna figure out real quick that they're gonna have to take him down. But I mean, these guys, man. I mean, between McIntyre and Sheamus, they're not no pushover. I mean, they may be little compared to Omos, but they're some big brute guys. Okay, and I'm sure if Omos get hit with their finish with a Claymore, and it gets hit by Sheamus by the bro kick, Omos is going down, and he's going to stay down. He's going to be staring at the briefcases from out the bottom.
Still more to come on our show. Listen, we had the privilege to have Jenny Santana on the show, and if you missed out on that, please subscribe. I mean, please subscribe to our channel, but also take a look at Jenny Santana and the new wrestling promotion, which is the Ultimate Woman of Wrestling. And I'll put it up right here. You have to check it out, man, because she provided a lot of details of woman wrestling. So stay tuned, because we're coming up next. We have Mr. SummerSlam tournament. Here we go. All right, it's the quarterfinals of the Mr. SummerSlam. Yes, and we're gonna start right away with Randy Orton versus Bret Hart. I had to do so much research just to see who really has a better resume. And we touched on it how you mentioned about John Cena at the very end, having others, win, to get him over and everything else. Randy Orton's been that guy, except for one particular SummerSlam. And I'll address it to you right now is that he lost to Jinder Mahal for a championship. Remember that? And if not mistaken, that was a stipulation, right? Well, he had to climb over some sticks or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
forgot the name of it.
like
Um,
the Pujambi, or no? Is it something like
yeah,
that?
something like that. Yeah. Then he lost to Brock Lesnar. He won and lost against Sheamus. He lost to Roman Reigns. He actually lost to Hulk Hogan in SummerSlam.
Yeah,
And then he got a split with John Cena at SummerSlam, 1-1 as well. But on the other side, Bret Hart. Bret Hart, on his last SummerSlam, he was in that 7-on-7 match in which he hit a smack Skip Sheffield with a chair, and that got him disqualified. But yeah, he was on Cena's team, and they won. They beat Nexus. That's what it was. But however, individually, he has beaten The Undertaker.
mm-hmm.
He's beat Owen Hart, Mr. Perfect, and as a tag team, they won the tag team titles against the Demolition, and that was when he
Yes.
was with the Hart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my pick here is Bret Hart defeating Randy Orton.
I'm really surprised you said that because I thought we was gonna have a debate on this one. Honestly, I thought we were going to, but I'm glad we didn't because I got Bret Hart winning this one also. To me, I mean, I know Randy Orton, can be a very dirty player. He has, a certain amount of set, skill moves, but Bret Hart is just a technician in that ring. And, he did things to people like Mr. Perfect and The Undertaker, Jerry Lawler, it's it's just unbelievable that how dirty Bret Hart can really be, and I think people take that for granted that even though Randy Orton probably got the most dangerous finisher in the WWE, but if Bret Hart would have stayed away from that, technically there was no way that Randy Orton was going to be able to win this match. And if he gets put in the sharpshooter, just like Stone Cold passed out, I think Randy Orton would have been the same situation because Bret Hart was not going to will be relentless to let go of that move and break this guy's back. So I think at the end it'll be a close one, but I think Bret Hart would have won this match.
All right, I'm glad we agree on that one.
Yeah, I
Thank
thought we
you.
were going to disagree.
Yeah, to disagree. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was hoping you go for Randy Orton.
I couldn't.
Uh all right, John Cena versus Roman Reigns. You're up.
Um, I didn't wear my shirt today. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care if you call him the big dog or the tribal chief. I think Roman Reigns would have won this match. As great as John Cena is, as great as John Cena was, I think just the tenacity of what Roman Reigns brings to this ring at whatever character. I mean, the only thing that John Cena got over him is the mic skills. But in the ring, muscle for muscle, I think it would have taken a lot to take John Cena down, but I think eventually he would have kept John Cena down after maybe like 500 spears probably and maybe a half dozen Superman punches.
I'd say if John Cena was at his prime, he would have destroyed Roman Reigns. But being the fact that we saw this match last year in SummerSlam, Roman Reigns won. That's why I'm picking Roman Reigns.
Yeah, especially if you talk about the thugonomics type John Cena, that would have that would have been a big different story. I think
Dude, look
so.
at him though. I mean, John Cena once probably twice as old as Roman Reigns. He's taller than him. He's cut more than him. I mean, good lord. I mean, John Cena had to change his body for
Yeah,
the movies.
yeah.
Imagine he wasn't in the movies, how bulk he would be. He would look Roman Reigns would look skinny. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, I know.
Um,
You look at them OVW boys when they came out in 2002. They were all buff.
but
They were
oh,
they were stacked, all of them. Yes.
hey, they know how to braid them over there in OVM. The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. All right,
Yeah.
I actually picked The Undertaker because SummerSlam 2015, Undertaker got his revenge and defeated Brock Lesnar. And this was coming after that loss years before when The Undertaker lost his streak at WrestleMania. So finally, he got even with him and defeated him. And remember, this is that same match that Brock Lesnar, I mean, The Undertaker, didn't he like sit up when he thought he was out? And then Lesnar just kept laughing or whatever. And then like it just kept on and on. And then finally the Taker just took care of business.
Yeah, I think this would have been definitely a very tight knit match. There was not going to be no pushover here, but I would have picked the Undertaker on this one in a very close match. It would have taken a whole lot. He would have been drained after this. He would have had nothing left.
That'd have been 59 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know about the other 5 seconds. I think the rest of the time would have been them hugging each other, be like, great match, dude.
For real.
All right, man. We are 3 for 3. Is there any match that we'll disagree on? Let's see. Here it is. Edge versus Kurt Angle. Your pick.
I'm going to lean towards Kurt Angle on this one. I think he's just a better technician wrestler. I mean, Edge is a very, very good wrestler and everything, but I mean, I'm sorry, man. You
get out of here, man. Get out of here.
You put him on that ankle lock, it's over with, man. You think you know
Are
me?
you serious right now?
You think you know Kurt Angle?
Nope. You don't know about the anchor lock, but I tell you what. But hey, listen. Doing my research, Kurt Angle has been teaming up with Edge and Christian for a long, especially early in their careers, right? Because you had Edge and Christian have that rivalry with the Hardy Boys, and then you had Angle and The Rock during that time. And as it went on, they only really had a couple of matches against each other. I am surprised that these guys only had minimum matches. Now, against each other, I think there were maybe 3 or 4, but the rest, they worked together for like total of 56 matches in their career in the WWE. Okay. And half of those times was in the same team as Edge, or they're involved like in the Battle Royal or some type of elimination. There was like these big stipulations and stuff. And like neither one of them actually went far. They both got eliminated. But out of that, and I try to base it on the summer events. Kurt Angle is 2-1 against Edge. Okay. One of those, the last match they had, it was Kurt Angle and I want to say Rob Van Dam versus Edge and Randy Orton. I think that's what happened. And then that was it. And it was like one of those one-time match, and then boom, they went out and went their separate ways with their whatever angles they had. And I could be wrong on the Kurt Angle's partner. I'm not sure. But 2-1, they only fought 3 times in the summer. And yeah, it was that because that was a taping, a ECW taping, June 20th, 2006. That's what it was. So
just imagine if they would have had more time together in the ring one-on-one. It could have been a different story.
Yes, it could have. But I'm just in shock that out of these matches, we agreed on all of them.
I know, that's kind of weird.
Very weird. Very weird. Once again, we're brought to you by the CNG Sports Podcast Network. Visit hhwshow.com for more on our show. We have all of our podcasts and our vodcast on there. And once again, we're also going to be adding football. That's right. The All 4 Downs podcast, which we're covering college football, NFL, and coming up soon, the XFL. But here on this show, we just wrapping up the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Well, it's not pay-per-view, it's a premium event. So if you haven't subscribed Peacock in here in the United States, by all means, you want to watch it. It's free for it. Was it Xfinity or Comcast subscribers?
Mhm.
But over there overseas, you got the WWE Network. But I just can't wait, man. There's a lot of differences. A lot of people are picking their winners, and I'm gonna be bold enough and tell you that there's gonna be a new women's champion on Money in the Bank. It's got to. I mean, I think it's a tradition. That's what's going on, right? Last year, right? Did it happen last year? Charlotte Flair, did she lose it on I know Charlotte Flair lost it in 2019 to Bayley.
Nikki, yeah, but Nikki Ash cashed in on her last year.
On Money in the Bank?
Nikki ASH, I think cashed in on her, I think on Monday Night Raw. I think it was the night after. I think she cashed in on her.
2021. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's probably the only time. I got a feeling it's gonna happen. And this is in Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know what I would personally love, for me personally, since I'm here in Texas, in Waco, Texas. The WWE's coming here on July 10th. Okay. A week after Money in the Bank. I would just love for somebody to cash in right here in Waco, Texas, man. That would be just so awesome to see.
And you said on a Monday or Friday?
No, we're Sunday. Sunday. It's called a Sunday Stunner on July 10th.
Oh, it ain't gonna happen on that one.
That'd be
Get
so
out
awesome.
of here. No.
Surprise, baby.
No.
I'm just saying, I would love to see it.
You're gonna see a bunch of jobbers on that match, I'll tell you that much. Nah, they be having some good match cards there. You know, they do be having those titles on the line. But very rare have we seen any new champions during those events. I think they need to bring that back so that way they can get more fans in there. Absolutely. Yeah. But hey, let's wait and see, man. It's this Saturday. Catch it. You don't want to miss it. And see if your picks matches ours, man. Let's go. It's too bad Frank wasn't with us, man. That'd have been something else.
Analytics on his, yeah.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Go ahead, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please leave your comments who you think is the men and women's Money in the Bank winners. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone.
Don't